Alright, it's been a long time since I've done a video. But I was playing a lot of Steam Edition Beta today, as you can see. This is the Steam Edition Beta, if you read that text up there. I've got some cool new stuff, like an overlay, so you can see my input a little more closely. But I wanted to go over today how you actually mix people up in the King of Fighters 13. This is a concept that a lot of people are not fully comprehending. Most players online don't know how to do this, and it's why they don't have good damage, okay? This is a topic that will show you, if you can actually utilize everything I show you in this video, you can make people not press buttons, and when they stop pressing buttons, you get pressure. They're going to have to do something at some point, and that's where you have control of the match. So I want you to think about just general 2D fighting mechanics. If someone is just blocking, Kyo is set to all guard, okay? If someone is blocking, then how do you deal damage to them? The simple answer is to throw. Well, running up and throwing someone is a decent idea if you think that they're going to block, okay? Pardon my dog. Not my dog, roommate's dog, but dog. If you think they're going to block, you can run up and throw them. You can do this from any range, okay? If you do a crouching A, and they block, throw them. If you do two crouching Bs and they block, walk up and throw them. If you do a jump CD, wait, and block them. Yeah. There we go. Okay, you have to wait the right amount of time. If you watched my video on throws, I explained how there's extra throw invincibility. Please watch that video so you understand the timing of when to throw someone. That C was too early. That was just right. Of course, if your character has a command grab and they're blocking, you could certainly use a command grab as well. So you're probably going to ask, Juice, they are not just blocking. I'll do a couple of crouching Bs, and then the Kyo player will poke out. And I don't know how to stop him from poking out. And this is where you need to utilize frame traps, and you need to understand frame data, kind of. You don't need to know frame data down to the numbers, you don't need to memorize a whole bunch of stuff, but you should know what attacks you have advantage after. No matter how much it is, as long as you have actual frame advantage, then you should be able to do frame traps off of it, and you can prevent them from hitting buttons after that normal that gives you the advantage. You can find frame data listed in the description of the video, which I will be posting down there. There's a link, there's a spreadsheet. Frame data is available for almost every character in the game, and we're working on the final character. So, I want you to think about this. If I do a jumping CD and you block it, and I run forward, I could threaten with a throw if you keep blocking, okay? Now, you might say, well, how do I tech a throw? To tech a throw, if you remember from the throw video, you have to input a throw. Okay, so while holding back, I hit hard punch there to get Kyo to not throw me. Now this is where the mix-up comes into play. If they are blocking, and you run forward, the opponent is thinking, oh man, if I keep blocking, then he could throw me. I better stand up and tech this throw. And that is exactly what you want. If you utilize the block stun and you threaten with a possible normal throw, then they're going to have to stand up in order to tech that throw. Remember, you have to be holding left or right in order to actually throw someone or to break a throw. So if they're holding left or right when you get here, that means that you can go low. Let me go ahead and record this dummy here. Okay, but there comes a point when you block, you have to say, I have to stop blocking at some point, because otherwise the normal throw or a command grab will come into play. So what's going to happen is they're going to start teching your throws, assuming they have good timing. Okay? And if they do start teching your throws, that means they have to stand up before that moment. It's very difficult for you to just hit back and throw. And even if you do, there is a moment, a very brief moment, where you are standing up. Your goal as the aggressor in this scenario is to run forward until the moment where a throw is possible, predict that they will try to tech your throw, and go for a low. And then, if you can actually land a combo off of a low, and if you can confirm off of those low hits, then you'll start landing combos with the threat of the normal throw. Now, this is all assuming that they continue blocking long enough to actually let you go for that throw. But there's a fallacy there. They don't have to block. They don't have to block. Right there, if I go for the normal throw, that means that the block stun is over. That means that the Kyo player right here has options. He could backdash. He could attempt to jump. He could hit a button, because if the block stun is over, it's possible that his button will come out before my throw comes out if I have bad timing. He could also uppercut, if I didn't already say that. He has quite a few options. And also, let's not forget... Where you at? Get you some bar here. He doesn't necessarily have to stick around. When you do that jump in and you're like, I'm gonna mix him up, and you're like, oh crap. He did a guard cancel roll, nothing I can do about that. If they're actually utilizing all their defensive options, it's tough to mix someone up in this game. You have lots of options. You got backdash, you have jabs, you have jumps, you have uppercuts, you have guard cancels. It's tough to mix someone up who knows how to defend. But if they're hitting no buttons, the basic mix-up is you run forward with block stun, and you mix up between a low and a throw. And then, after the throw, continue more pressure, or if you land that low, get the combo. Okay? But, let's say that this Kyo player here is actually trying... In fact, let's reverse the roles here. Let's say that I'm actually trying to mash out. That I'm actually trying to stop this Kyo player from running forward and doing what he wants to do. Well, as it turns out, the Kyo player, because he has the advantage off that jump in, can always stop any button you want to press if he doesn't go for a throw, but instead goes for a quick normal. Okay? Let me re-record this here. Okay? Look at me mashing this kick. Oh, let's see what we got here. There we go. It's not possible for me to poke out consistently against someone who knows when that block stun is over. Remember the example where the Kyo player is blocking, okay? There's a certain amount of time that you have to wait before the block stun ends, and then an additional time for that throw invincibility to end. But, if I know when that block stun ends, how about, with Takuma, I time a hard punch that comes out right after that block stun is over. If this Kyo player tries a low kick, a low jab, or a backdash or a jump, then it's not going to work. He's out of block stun, but he's trying to not block. He's trying to poke, he's trying to jump, he's trying to do something, but I'm going to catch him at the end of that block stun. And this is the example shown here. Okay? If I try to mash out of this, it's not going to be reliable if the Kyo player knows how to actually time that hard punch. And it doesn't have to be a hard punch either. It could just be a light kick. It can be any normal in your arsenal as long as you time it right. Oh, I timed it wrong there. Oh, let's go again. There we go. There it is. Oh no! I'll try to poke out, but it's really, really tough to. Okay. Now notice this example. Well, Juice, you can't poke out with low B or low A when he does that, but depending on how long he waits, you might be able to throw him. But there's a fallacy there. If I am throwing him out of his pressure, do you know what that means? That means I'm standing up. If somebody is standing up and throwing you out of your pressure, all you have to do is attack low immediately. They cannot throw you out of pressure and poke you out of pressure all the time if you know how to interrupt those options, and it involves knowing when the block stun is over on your attacks. But this isn't just on jump-ins. Let's say you block one crouching attack right here. You block one crouching attack and you're saying, okay, I want to hit something here. I think the Kyo player is going to go for a throw. I'm going to try to backdash here. Oh, that's bad. Oh, I set him on CPU. There you go. Okay. Oh, I got hit when I tried to backdash. Oh no, I got hit while trying to jump. Oh no, I tried to hit crouching light kick. It didn't work. Let me try to throw. Didn't work. Oh no. It's not working. I got to trade that time, but how do I stop this scenario? Well, simple. You block it. If you block this, he'll push you away. But what the Kyo player is doing is he's setting you up. If you just block this and do nothing, he can throw you. If you block 2 of these and then the other player does nothing, you can throw them again, okay? Consider, what if they're just blocking? 1, throw. 2, throw. What if they just block? 3, throw. What if you don't want to go for throw? More pressure. 1, more pressure. 2, more pressure. 2 different attacks. More pressure. 1 attack. 2 attacks. 1, pressure. 1, 2, 3, pressure. 1, grab. If your opponent is going to continue blocking, you can maintain that pressure and you can possibly set them up for a mix-up. 1, 2, run up. Oh, did you think I was going to throw that time? Because that time I figured you would get tired of the pressure and I thought you might try to tech my throw, so I ran forward into a low. This is how you effectively mix someone up, okay? Going back to more examples, I showed you with Kyo how you can mix up off 1 crouching B. You do 1, and then you do a close C. This is a frame trap. It's a trap based on frame data that is designed to catch people at the end of the block stun of the previous attack. If this Kyo player tries to stand up and hit a button, or hit a crouching A or a crouching B, or really try anything that isn't an uppercut, you're going to hit him with this close C. And you know what that means? You could get a full combo with Takuma, or you could get a full combo with Kyo. In fact, with Kyo, he can actually link his close C off of the crouching B. If your characters have any links that can be done on a normal hit, such as Andy's low A, close C, Rolf's low B, close C, Shen's low B, crouch C, Rio's low A, crouch C. Any of those links are actually really great frame traps, because if they try to interrupt between the normals, you're going to conk them, and you could get some sort of combo off that. But it's not just one poke either. You don't need a close normal to prevent them from hitting buttons, if they're blocking all day. The Kyo player is going to run up to me and hit 2 buttons. I'm gonna try to jump away. Let me put it this way. I'm gonna try to poke out. Oh no, I got hit by the trip. I'm gonna try to backdash. Oh no, I got hit by the trip. How about this? 2 pokes. Try to poke out. Oh no, the CD was out of range. Try to hop. Oh no, I got hit because the CD was in the way. I could backdash this one, but think about that for a second. Think about your options. I think he's gonna backdash out of my mix-up. Oh crap! See? If you think that your opponent is going to try to weasel their way out of pressure with a roll or a backdash or even a jump, that means that if you maintain the pressure rather than going for a low throw mix-up, that you could catch their movement. And this is why at top levels of KOF, you see all this crazy jumping stuff. What they're trying to do is make their opponent feel like the only option they have that will be safe against this onslaught is to block. And the moment that I say you have no choice but to block and you're gonna block, that's when I run forward and I go for a low or a grab. You can always prevent your opponent from pressing buttons, and you can always give them you can always make them feel like they have no choice but to block. From 1 poke out, you can frame trap, usually with a close standing normal. In most characters' cases, that's going to be their fastest normal. From 2 pokes out. In Takuma's case, you could hesitate, then do a standing B into Zanretsuken. That's kind of sort of safe. There will be more examples per character, but the idea is you can do 2 attacks, hesitate, and if they try to interrupt the 3rd attack, they can't. With Kyo, let's see. What's a good example with Kyo? Ah, here we go. With Kyo, the best example is standing hard kick. Ah, son of a crap. There we go. Okay. In particular, because it tends to go over lows, this beats a lot of crouching Bs. But if I try to backdash out, if I try to jump out, like we're either at a neutral situation or I get hit. Now a standing hard kick isn't a lot of damage, but the point is this works from 3 pokes away too. Nope. If you try to avoid this fourth attack, there's a possibility that you'll get hit. Okay. Try to hit a button. Oh no, I traded. Try to hit a crouching B. Oh no, I got hit in the face. If they try to hit a button or do something after this third crouching light kick, Kyo can make them feel like they should be blocking with the standing hard kick. Or how about a hyper hop CD? Or how about a fireball? You have tons of choices at all times, and this is why the game is deep at the close range. Okay, just to go over that one more time. Do a jumping attack, I could go low, or I could throw. Or I could frame trap off of the jump in. If you do one poke, you can frame trap off of that poke, or go for a throw, or go for more pressure. If you do 2 pokes, you could run forward into low, you could run forward into throw, you could go for more pressure, you could go for a frame trap. Off of 3 pokes, you could go for more pressure, you could go for run up throw, you could go for run up low, you could go for a frame trap. It's a very large flowchart of options that you do have access to. If you know how to use these options, and if you know what those options are for your characters, you can make them feel that they can't press any buttons and that they have to block. And once they block, that's when you get repeated pressure it's when you get repeated pressure and or low throw mix-ups. And that is where the damage comes from. Now I've actually noticed there are players that sometimes get that damage. They'll get this, they'll run forward, they'll get the low, but then they don't do anything else. There's a lot of low and even intermediate level players that when they get these lows, they just do 3 crouching Bs and that's it. And so the problem is you need to practice your hit confirms. You need to be able to land this on a crouch random guard opponent. Wow, look at my input. Oh god, it's terrible. Oh. There we go. Okay. Go for the special on hit. Don't do the special on block. Hit confirming is a very important part of your ability to actually utilize this neutral game. What if you frame trap with Takuma? What if they block that? And then you actually hit the close C with your frame trap? Will you be able to actually go into the full combo when this happens in a match situation? Let's see if I can get it once. There we go. When that match situation comes up and you land that frame trap, will you be mentally prepared for that confirm? If you're not getting damage. And if you're not utilizing this low, throw, repeated pressure loop, then your offense just ends. At some points, they just keep blocking, and they're just out of your way. Darn random guard. Okay, if you go for 4 attacks and they just block them all, we're back to the neutral game. And at the neutral game, even if you hyper hop, they can stop that, and they are no longer under your control. So I hope this video gave you some good ideas as to why your offense may be lacking or why it may be effective. I will be creating, of course, more videos like this in the future. I hope I gave you enough examples. If you have further questions or if you think there's something I missed, please let me know in one of the comments down below. Like, subscribe, yada, 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 whatever. But I stream this game often. Steam Edition is officially released tomorrow for 30 bucks. It's going to be great. I really hope to see some of you online, and I hope you enjoy this wonderful, wonderful game. I'll see you at the next video. 4:57. Okay, so that was 20 minutes. That was 20 minutes.